Well, ladies and gentlemen, do I ever have some good news for you? I'm sure you've heard by now, but it was announced that Daisy Ridley Ray is going to be returning to the Star Wars franchise for, you guessed it, a new trilogy of Disney Star Wars sequels. Now, if The Mandalorian's recent episodes are any indications, we can only imagine what we're in store for. And I gotta tell you, I'm excited. I'm excited because I am going to make so much money and so much content, and we are going to have such a laugh at their expense watching them fail, make the same mistakes over and over and over, despite everyone in the world telling them, hey, we don't like this. Hey, you should change this. Hey, this is probably a really bad idea. You know, Disney, you're not exactly bringing in the cash. Disney, your stock has 31.9%. That's down kind of a lot. You know, Disney seems to think that they're infallible. But here's the thing that's interesting, and they had this whole presentation when they showed Daisy Ridley. And so here's the thing. I'm glad this is coming out because Disney has utterly eviscerated my love for Star Wars. It no longer exists. I like certain things here and there. I may go back and watch the movies, but I'm not a Star Wars fan anymore. I'll just be honest about it. I'm not. I don't look forward to Star Wars stuff. The games, sure, I'll play the Star Wars games, but I'm not investing time into Star Wars anymore. No, because you see, they ruined it. They destroyed it. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to have Rey rebuild the Jedi Order. So you know the story that you and I wanted to see Luke Skywalker accomplish? You know the story that we were just desperate for? Or they're just going to give it to Rey. Rey is going to rebuild the Jedi Order. This is a slap in the face to what few Star Wars fans there are left. They haven't learned their lesson. They're going to continue to double down. And you know what? It's okay. Because I'm going to be here to laugh at them right along with you. There is no excuse for this level of incompetence and failure. There really isn't. So let's read a little bit of this. London. New adventures are coming for Star Wars fans around the world. Devotees dressed in cosplay, filmmakers, and stars from the universe gathered Friday at Star Wars Celebration, the April 7 through 10 fan convention, where filmmakers discuss the future of the franchise's films and TV series. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, who, by the way, let me just mention, anyone who says that women can do anything that a man can do, women are just as competent and capable, women are just as good as leaders as men, bullshit. Bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Kathleen Kennedy should be used for all time to demonstrate that no, women are not as competent or as capable as men. Because promise you, no man in that position could have done as terrible a job as Kathleen Kennedy in so efficiently ruining the interest of Star Wars from the general population. People aren't even willing to take the time to watch The Mandalorian, which is the one thing they actually liked. So, anytime that someone says women should get paid the same as men, women are just as competent and capable, the answer is absolutely not. Kathleen Kennedy is a fucking joke. She should be considered an embarrassment for all time. She should be the butt of everyone's joke. When they talk about failure, it should be synonymous with Kathleen Kennedy. Because you can blame Bob Iger, sure, but he just appointed her. That's terrible leadership on his part, sure. That's incompetence, that's negligence. I'd say he violated his fiduciary duty to the shareholders, but at the end of the day, she's the one that's been fighting for the terrible changes that we see in Star Wars. She's the one that's ultimately responsible. So she took the she took the stage with feature guests to discuss what's next and reveal the new Star Wars movie, one of three, starring a returning Daisy Ridley. So basically, instead of doing what would be best for Star Wars, doing what would be best for the fans, doing what would be best for Disney, trying to revitalize the brand, rejuvenate it, Kathleen Kennedy's determination to see this run into the ground because of her ego, it's pretty unbelievable. And again, this is the stubbornness of women. It absolutely is. I can tell you for a fact, I have worked with enough women to know that there are women like Kathleen Kennedy that are so stubborn and so egotistical and so delusional that they believe that no matter what they do, no matter how much they fail, they deserve success. They deserve to be able to do whatever they want. And I'm sure you've seen podcasts like the Whatever Podcast or Fresh and Fit, where you listen to a woman say, through my 20s, I had, promiscuous sex with all these guys, and, I banged all these dudes. I posted all these pictures to Instagram and made a bunch of money on OnlyFans. Oh man, I went out partying, I went on yachts. I'm talking about all these things that they did that are a complete and total disaster for their future. And then they're asked, okay, do you deserve a high-value man? Yeah, I deserve a high-value man. Okay? Do you not realize that this is bad? No, I can do whatever I want. And if a man doesn't like me, then he's insecure. And I'll find a man who's okay with me being me and me doing whatever I want. It's like, these women are so fucking delusional. It's unbelievable. And this is the same sort of shit. Maybe not with being a 304, but Kathleen Kennedy absolutely has this mindset that she can do anything she wants. She can wear a shirt that says the Force is female. She can double down on the failures of the original Star Wars trilogy. The original Disney Star Wars trilogy. She can make the same mistake over and over and expect a different result, which is the definition of insanity, because she's a woman and she believes that entitles her to get what she wants. Well, I'm here to tell you, Kathleen, you're not special. You're not special. You're not remarkable. In fact, the only thing remarkable about you is the fact that you're such a fucking failure and that you haven't been fired. Because any man in your position would have been fired from a cannon into the sun. But, Kathleen, I don't give a shit if you make it good or bad at this point. I genuinely don't. I've got the games. The games you can't fuck up because you're not in charge of the games. The games are done by other people. BioWare, their track record as of late is not great. But other companies are working on the games. You can't fuck those up. Which is why they're good. And if you want to know, hey, you're criticizing Kathleen Kennedy. What would you do that's so much better? What I would do that's so much better is I would stop and take my ego out of it completely. Completely. I would say, okay, we're scrapping the Disney Star Wars sequel. We're making that a public announcement. And we're getting as far away from Daisy fucking Ridley and this sequel bullshit. We're going to go 4,000 years in the past. And guess what? We're going to start making Star Wars The Old Republic. Now, I know that they talked about this, but my plan would be very different. I would make a Knights of the Old Republic 1 movie. Then, the next year, Knights of the Old Republic 2 would come out. Then, after that, there would be a Star Wars The Old Republic ongoing, either television series, straight straight to whatever service we wanted. Maybe if Disney Plus is still around, maybe there, maybe Netflix, whatever. But a series about the stories in Star Wars: The Old Republic. So Juggernaut, or it's like you got the Sith Warrior, you've got the Jedi Guardian, whatever. You've got all the different Jedi and Sith stories. You've got the smugglers. You've got the Imperial agents. You've got all of these stories that the characters, the looks, the designs, everything is done for you. So I would just make a bunch of movies or shows about that. And guess what? That's like 10 years worth of content with me not doing a fucking thing. And you know what? People will pay cash. They'll pay cash. They'll pay a lot of money for an HK-47 action figure once it's on the big screen. They'll pay lots of fucking money. I'd make bank. I'd make so much cash. Daisy Ridley, she doesn't bring in money. She's not going to bring in shit. Well, she is going to bring in shit. She's not going to attract a whole new breed of Star Wars fans. No, people are repulsed by her and what she represents. No, they want Luke Skywalker, but I'm here for this, by the way. I'm saying all this from my Star Wars fan self. But me as a content creator, oh man, you couldn't do better. You couldn't do better for me. I'm going to make so much money and get so many clicks and so many views off of this. I'm going to shit on this night and day because I think it's funny. I think your failure it's just delicious. Because it's so predictable. Everyone predicts this. Everyone can predict this. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Let me go to Tyrone Magnus. Okay. Let's go to Tyrone Magnus. Let me just
We're reinventing
tell you
our
why
network
I'm pulling him up.
with smarter, more efficient routes. So you can
Tyrone
deliver
Magnus
more
is
value
not
to your
what you would
customers.
call a traditional
Fast,
nerd.
reliable,
He's not
perfectly
what you would call
orchestrated.
somebody
The United
that would
States
fall
Postal
into that
Service.
category of being a fucking nerd.
Get up,
So,
boss!
the reason
Shoot the
why
man. Shoot the dog too.
I think it's so important is because if you look at what normal people, relatively normal people, have to say about this, I think that it tells you the whole story. Somebody like Tyrone Magnus is a more mainstream fan than even I was. But let's take a look at what he has to say. All right? 1 second.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Woo! Yeah, my brother. Oh my God, yeah. I know. If I still
I
care about
have
Star
nothing
Wars.
against Daisy Ridley whatsoever.
I do.
To tell you the truth,
I
and she
absolutely
got a
do.
raw deal with what they did.
Now, she's
with
got...
her.
Now, I disagree with him. I know people say this. She's a shitty fucking actress. She has one facial expression. One facial expression. She's not a good actress. Stop making excuses for her. It's not just Kathleen Kennedy. They cast the wrong woman, which that in itself is not her fault, but she's not a good actress. She has one facial expression. Let's see. Daisy Ridley. In the show, she has one facial expression. One facial expression. She is not very good at emoting and showing what's going on through her face. Do you understand? That's a huge problem. That's part of the reason people don't like her is because I mean, her personality and everything about her, people can't relate to. But also, she looks like a fucking android. I mean, let me just pull up. Terminator T-800. Look at that. You tell me that's not Daisy Ridley? Looks just like Daisy Ridley. Come on, Daisy Ridley. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. I mean, come on. You got to admit I'm right on this. I'm absolutely right. Look at that. Does that not look like it's an android sent back in time? Look at this. Even in her photos that have nothing to do with Star Wars. Does this have anything to do with Star Wars? Look at her face. Look at her face. Do you understand? Okay, she's smiling here. This looks like an incredibly phony face. Look at this. She looks like she's a machine. I'm not saying that she's not attractive. I'm not saying that she's ugly or anything. What I'm saying is that she has the facial expressions of a corpse or a Terminator, a machine sent back in time to kill John Connor and end humanity. I mean, look at this. This is the face of Daisy Ridley. And look, this is how she smiles. You get my point, okay? She's not a good actress. She's not right for the role. She is a problem. You know, I'm sure she's a sweetheart in real life, but she's not a very good actress, okay?
It could have been so great. It could have been so great.
Do you know how it could have been great? Tyrone, do you know how it could have been great? If they took out Daisy Ridley from the movie. If Finn were the main character, he were force sensitive, he were a stormtrooper that wasn't fucking brainwashed. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, right there is the racism of Hollywood. Black people, they're not responsible for their own actions. No, how about this? How about Finn was responsible for his own actions? He made a serious mistake because he was in a very emotionally distraught place. Maybe he lost his wife and kid. And, you know, the First Order, their propaganda sounded really good because he was broken. He went to join them thinking that they were the good guys and that, you know, they'd fight back against, you know, the tyranny that he has been seeing in the universe, you know, to get revenge on his wife. Maybe the First Order is like, hey, you know, we're fighting against, like, terrorist cells. Maybe they're blaming it on somebody else. And the First Order is there to tell you that, you know, we're actually fighting. The Republic isn't. And Finn joins them, ends up doing some atrocious stuff, gets caught up into it, realizes that this is evil, this isn't who he is, and has this huge redemption where he steals the plans for this super mega death weapon, runs away, tries to find the rebellion. I mean, hey, you know, he's force sensitive. He's the one that affects. He makes the choice. He has agency.
You remember after The Force Awakens, the way we were all speculating, we were so happy, it was crazy. It was like, whose daughter is she? Is she somehow Obi-Wan's daughter? Is she Luke's daughter? Is she a cousin of the Skywalkers? Who is she? Oh my God!
Get it.
Just all the headcanon that was going on. It was a magical time for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Lovers.
Yeah.
And then...
Come on, tell me how you feel.
And then...
At the dark times.
We know what happened after that.
Then the Ryan Johnson.
And then what happened after that. I don't think that they can do what they did for Andrew Garfield, this character. It's a possibility. But I feel it's...
When I first considered therapy, I was really hesitant.
Oh,
because
no.
I didn't want just any therapist. I wanted...
Highly unlikely.
Nope.
They need to lay this character to rest.
Yep.
We all know this.
Yep.
People were sending me this, talking about they are so angry they cannot believe they're about to do.
I would be furious if I were still a Star Wars fan. I would be fucking irate. Because of all the opportunities you have, of all the ideas you have, of all of the creative genius you have around Star Wars and what you can do, if I were a Star Wars fan, and this is what they chose to do, another trilogy with Rey, this whole the future is female bullshit that caused the franchise to experience this level of ruin and decay, yeah, I'd be pretty pissed. But I don't care. Not really. I mean, I do, because I do want to see Star Wars be good, but I don't expect it ever to be good again. Except for maybe the games, so, it's just like, I'm not disappointed. But as a content creator, oh my god, this is like a dream. I'm going to get to make so much content and so much money ripping on these arrogant, narcissistic assholes.
I can't believe they're about to do this either. I cannot believe it. So it says here, Daisy Ridley is a fun... I can't even talk. Daisy Ridley.
I feel you, Tyrone.
I can't... Daidley. I call her Daidley. I can't talk.
It's not the worst thing.
See what you did to me, Disney? Oh my god.
Not the worst thing she's been called.
Ridley is officially returning as Rey in Star Wars New Jedi Order. Yay! A sequel set 15 years after Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Disney and Lucasfilm finally unveiled their future plans for the Star Wars franchise, the Star Wars Celebration 2023. This included confirming the development of a new Star Wars movie set after the sequel trilogy, which was previously rumored to be in the works. Star Wars New Jedi Order will be directed, but I can't pronounce the name, with recent writer changes bringing Stephen Knight aboard as writer. Let me tell you this. Like, all jokes aside, you guys know that I don't watch WWE anymore, okay? Now, my boy Blake Grayson actually recently got on NXT. He got in 2 intros for a couple of wrestlers, so he's doing his thing. But I don't watch WWE anymore.
Fair.
Because they beat me down as a fan over the years.
Yep.
And you guys know it. Like, I was watching for almost a full 11 years that I've been doing this.
Right.
And I eventually stopped. I just couldn't take it no more. And I cannot see myself going back. I told him when he starts wrestling and whatever shows he appears on, I'll be there or I'll be watching. That's my boy. He's got my support.
Damn right.
But they don't. They've destroyed that product. They let, I don't know what, but they said that the rumor is everything goes through Vince.
Yep.
So, no matter how creative you are, no matter what great ideas you are, if you don't like it, it ain't being put on TV. He built and destroyed his own product with me.
Yep.
It's the same thing with this. I have no interest whatsoever. I have zero interest in watching this.
Yep.
And the only reason why I will is because I review movies. I review movies that my fans and followers, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, like me to review.
What happened to the term Magnusites? What happened to maybe because he stopped watching wrestling and it just kind of... So, yeah, you see, this is what I'm saying. As a Star Wars fan, I'm numb. I don't care about this. I don't care about what they've done or what they plan to do. But as a content creator, like him, I mean, when I mean like him, I'm not talking, I'm not on his level. He's got nearly 2 million subscribers. He's got a huge channel. What I mean is, as a content creator like him, with the mentality that this is going to be pure gold. This is going to print money for me because I'm going to react to this to make fun of them, and we're all going to be able to have a laugh and a good time at their expense because they're so fucking awful and incompetent and absolutely good for nothing. So, we're going to react to it, and inevitably, they're going to try to trot out the same stuff they did last time. There's going to be a black woman in the movie at some point that they put into the marketing. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know how. Hell, they may have Princess Leia come back as a black woman just to piss fans off so that they can try to blame them for the failure of this project. That's what Disney's modus operandi is. They're so confident in their work that they have to include people of color as shields against criticism. So, inevitably, you can bet your bottom dollar that'll happen, and when it does, I will mock the shit out of them for their pathetic attempt to avoid criticism for their inferior work. But as a content creator, I am going to make content on this. I am going to make fun of them. I'm going to mock the shit out of them. And it's going to be great, and I hope that you do it along with me. And let me take the opportunity to pitch my Rumble. We're so close to 10 followers. Look, here's the thing. Let me just give you the pitch for this. All right? I want to build this up. I do. I have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. A lot of that was from my Captain Marvel days when I made movies, made content about those movies. Alita Battle Angel, which is still one of my favorite films. But this has 8 followers. It is free to make a Rumble account. It's a phenomenal website. It is a safe haven. It is a hedge against YouTube censorship. And if I get enough followers, I am going to make content that is exclusive for Rumble. Meaning I can bypass YouTube's censorious bullshit and make content directly for you that is more direct, that is more brutal, more ruthless. Which, in the coming months, and the coming years, may be far more entertaining than you realize. So, if you would, go over to Rumble, find me at the Fan Advocacy Network, and follow me. And if you do, I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
Either because they know I'm going to love something, or they know that I will deeply dislike something.
Yep.
And I believe that many, many people will tune in for the review of this movie when it comes out from me, if it comes out, because I think they're insane to go forward with this.
Yep.
They're tuning in to see exactly what I have to say about how much I don't like it and what I didn't like about it.
Yep.
Like I said,
Dinner. It's more than just a meal you make every night.
I have nothing against Daisy Ridley. She seems very pleasant. She's well-mannered. She's lovely. I have no issues with her whatsoever. And actor to actor, I get it. She's got to work. She made it bigger than me. I'm small time right now, done small projects. I get it. But let me tell you something. They wouldn't have got me back if they brought me in. Put it this way. If I was John Boyega, there's no way
I was just
I'd
about
be
to
back.
say that.
With what they did to Finn,
Yeah.
there's no way. There's no way.
Come on, get him.
There is no way.
Get him,
They
Tyrone.
couldn't pay me enough to come back.
Get
they
him,
would have to
Tyrone.
recast Finn
God
if they
damn.
want him in there.
Yeah.
I bet you he ain't coming back.
Oh,
I bet
yeah.
you he ain't. We'll see.
Get him.
But I bet you he ain't. My hunch is he's not coming back.
Dude, John Boyega, if you ever hear this, take the fucking role. Take the money. Take every cent. Be like, give me double what you gave me before. And if they say no, then tell them to, say fuck you and don't give a shit. But if you get the role, if they pay you, phone it in. Don't show up late. Phone it in. Don't give a shit. Take that money. Take every penny of that, John Boyega, and go buy yourself something nice. I don't want to see you donating that to some Black Lives Matter domestic terrorist group. You go out there, you buy yourself a nice boat, you buy yourself a nice house, you buy yourself a nice watch, you buy yourself a nice car, you go buy yourself something nice, something purty. Go buy yourself a couple suits, go out and have some fun, have some premium sushi, have some drinks, buy the very best, enjoy yourself, treat yourself. Because goddamn you deserve it.
I should go ask him on his Twitter. He said he likes me. I should go ask him on Twitter. Hey, brother, we gonna see you in the new trilogy? Just asking.
Doubtful.
Oh, good Lord. Ooh. The pain that I feel is awaiting us. They are continuing to make bad decisions.
Woo.
Wow. Like, this reminds me of certain family members that I know. That no matter how many times I've told them that they're going in the wrong direction, they continue to go in the wrong direction and flounder and falter and fall.
Yep.
And it just doesn't seem to be getting better for them.
Yep.
You know what this reminds me of? I meant to say this in the Drinkers live stream that I did last night, man. Make sure you guys go check that out.
Oh, that's cool.
This reminds me, with what Disney's doing and what certain other companies are doing, with all this agenda crap. Mm-hmm. Correct. It kind of reminds me of how children will test their parents over and over and over again. Have you ever see this with kids like trying to, and the parents are like, no, and the parents might smack their hand, no. The parents might sit them in the corner, get away from that, no. And the kid keeps coming back, and that's Disney. The fans are the parents. We're the ones that make you the money. We're how you live, because we're the fans. If we don't pay to watch this stuff and go to your theme parks and you watch your series and Disney Plus and all this stuff, you can't live. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't survive. We are taking care of you, but Disney keeps and we're like and they just keep doing. They're just bad kids. Disney is a bad child right now that just refuses to act right.
Boy, this is more true than you know.
Oh, God. Disney, what's happened between us? What's happened, man?
All right, yeah. Great video from Tyrone. Let's look at Ron DeSantis. Now, before you all... DeSantis? Before you all go, oh my God, are you going to talk about politics? No, not specifically. Okay, so, yeah, I wanted to, is this it? Come on. No, that's not it. Okay, no. There's a very specific thing. Ron DeSantis, Disney. I spelled his name wrong. I don't give a shit. So if I can get through the left wing just spam garbage.
Their own government. So under no circumstances should the state of Florida be subsidizing woke activism by allowing them to have their own government. So we took it away. So they've lost their own government. We've put the state in charge with a control board. Now it's interesting. The media, tried to get spun up about Disney trying to do these agreements, very quietly right before we took control, and they're acting like somehow that they pulled one over on the state. There'll be a lot of that comes out over the next month or two, but suffice it to say, the legislature is going to avoid anything Disney did on the way out the door. But now that Disney has reopened this issue, we're not just going to avoid the development agreement they tried to do. We're going to look at things like taxes on the hotels. We're going to look at things like tolls on the roads. We're going to look at things like developing some of the property that the district owns. And so at the end of the day, I think what Disney has tried to do is they've tried to say that they should be able to operate outside the context of our constitutional system in Florida. No, we took this action prior to the election. We won overwhelmingly. They are not superior to the people of Florida. And so come hell or high water, we're going to make sure that that policy of Florida carries the day. And so they can keep trying to do things, but ultimately we're going to win on every single issue involving Disney. I can tell you that.
Okay, so the reason why I wanted to show you that is because it's not all sunshine and rainbow for Disney. It's not like they're doing so well that they can just continue to poke at people like he's mentioning here. Did you hear what Ron DeSantis said? Whatever you think of Ron DeSantis, I don't care. Specifically on this issue, he's talking about, okay, well, we're going to be looking at taxes for hotels. We're going to be looking at tolls. We're going to be looking at raising fees and taxes on certain things for Disney. This is absolutely fucking devastating when you remember the fact that Disney's stock is down dramatically. Now, it's not down as low as it was. It was down much, much lower earlier in the year. And then last year, it was down significantly more. But it's still down by a lot. So understand, the Disney is not doing real well. Their viewership from The Mandalorian is down. And now you've got Ron DeSantis saying, hey, you know what? You think you can mess with us? You think you can push this woke agenda? Well, you know what? We're going to tax the shit out of you and regulate the shit out of you because you put yourself in this position. And it's all their fault. It's all their fault. It's like Tyrone said, they just keep pushing. You think at a certain point, they would stop. Bob Iger would be like, stop, pump the brakes. What the fuck are we doing? There's an iceberg right there. But no, they're doubling down. They're tripling down. They're quadrupling down. Makes no goddamn sense. Do you understand that attendance for Disney is already suffering? It's already pretty low. You added more taxes, more fees. Disney's going to be getting pounded up the ass. They're not in a position to do this. Which is why when I mentioned my idea of going back to Star Wars The Old Republic and starting at the first game and making movies off of that and making movies off of the second game and making movies off of the MMO, it's because the majority of the work is done. The story is done. The lore is done. You have people that have written books about this. You don't have to spend a lot of time on writers. I mean, you can bring in a couple writers for the adaptation to the movie. But you don't have to work on creating all brand new characters, all brand new designs. You don't have to spend, a bunch of time, months or years, focusing on, let's build this world from the ground up. No, you have everything. Everything from the get-go. You're going to save so much money. And on top of that, You're going to be able to get these movies out faster, more efficiently, higher quality. It's going to be all around a better experience for everyone. Plus, it's going to be a subject matter that's new, that people may be hungry for, that if you make it good, they're going to want to see. So, Disney has decided to scrap all of that and go with this petty, vindictive, self-destructive, self-sabotage double down. So, that's where we're at. If you want to see more content from me, ladies and gentlemen, consider going over to Rumble and giving me a follow. And I'll continue to make more content as long as you continue to watch. And let's joke and laugh about Star Wars together. I'll see you next time.